we could definitely have a larger conversation about what the roadmap is, and I got some new things on that roadmap in some ways. It was those things I'm interested in looking at. But I just want to mention that like Boone's doing, Boone took it upon himself to do this XMR chain client. I didn't ask him to do it. He's been poking me the last couple months about wanting to be more involved from a developer perspective because he's just getting really into like the AI tools. To my knowledge, I don't think Boone is like a classically trained, so to speak, developer by any stretch, but he's still a very engaged, and intelligent person who is wrapping his brain around these newfangled tools we have. And I didn't work on the XRP thing for a handful of reasons, but one of the reasons is like wasn't aware that there was a Frost implementation that we could have in theory used to secure those assets, but Boone did, and it was built by I think Luke Parker's his name over on the Sarai project, like mid last year, like in August of last year in 2025. Didn't even know that was there personally, but it's a Rust implementation, which is probably fine. And so he's just doing that work, and like it's actually coming along quite well. And I keep on throwing things at him, like, oh, this is the next step you got to do to get your code change ready, and so I'm kind of like guiding him around, guiding him along, as some sort of like third base coach kind of thing, I guess you could call it, or whatever. Come on.
Yeah.
But it's now his code change at this point is ready for humans. Myself and Star Squid will be probably looking at that code change this week or next week and start giving some feedback and telling them to do this or don't do this or whatever. I'm sure there's a bunch of, if he doesn't mind being a little bit thrashed by myself and Star Squid, because I'm sure there's a bunch of things in there that's, it's AI generated code, and obviously we have to be very, we have to be sure about even if it's AI generated code that it works and it's secure and all these things, and it adheres to our our standards and quality standards we have to have. So myself and Star Squid will be doing that, starting probably this week or next week to help and keep on telling them, you got to fix this, fix that. This is not right, blah, 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 And then once that's the case, we get it merged into a develop branch, and then we launch it on ChainNet and start doing some testing, like real world, physically, ChainNet, StageNet kind of environment, and see that it actually functions, and we can observe transactions, and we can sign transactions, and we can do all the things we need to do. But there's a lot of complexity in that. We have to get that whole sidecar with the Frost thing going, and we got to plug that into the keygen process. When we do a keygen for TSS, we have to also do a keygen for the new Frost, system for Frost, right? And then you also have to do memoless outbounds, because I think the maximum memo for XMR is like 16 bytes, if I remember correctly. So you can't do outbound memos with that because it's just way too small. And so like there's a bunch of things that need to happen in order to get us to a place where we can support XMR. But there's more reason to be bullish now on XMR being added to THORChain than any other time in history, for sure. At this point, because of Boone and the work that he's doing, we should all be appreciative to Boone. There's a good chance that Monero will be added to THORChain in the next few months. And
wow.
That's pretty awesome, because I wasn't thinking it was going to happen in the next few months. I was thinking maybe the end of 2026, maybe 2027, but he's really kind of sped up that timeline just because of the work he's been putting in.